Hello again. There are moments in life when we simply forget. We forget what it feels like to rest, to stop, to breathe. We rush, we think, we worry. And somewhere between the lists, the conversations, and the constant reaching for what's next, our breath. That quiet rhythm that's always been with us, that becomes shallow and small. This story is for those moments for anyone whose chest feels tight, whose mind keeps replaying what cannot be changed, or whose thoughts have begun to spiral faster than the day itself. You may not realize it, but your breath tells your story before your words ever do. It knows when you're holding too much. It knows when the heart is afraid, and it knows, just as the tide knows, how to return. This story is a gentle reminder of that return. It's called The Woman Who Forgot to Breathe. So settle yourself where you can be still for a while. You don't have to do anything right. Just be here and let the story breathe for you until you remember how to again. The morning light over Aldervale was uncertain, neither gold nor grey, only caught between moods. Nell Rowan had opened her cottage window to let the air in. It smelled of rain and wood smoke and the faint sweetness of damp earth. She was pouring hot water over tea leaves when she heard the knock. 3 soft taps, hesitant, like someone apologising to the door. When she opened it, a woman stood there, slim, pale, eyes wide and tired, a scarf wound tight around her throat. "My name's Mara," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "I think I've forgotten how to breathe." Nell blinked softly, studying her face. "Well," she said at last, "you're still standing. Something in you must remember." Mara smiled. A fragile, frightened sort of smile. "I mean properly," she said. "My chest feels locked, my throat thick. I go through the day pretending, but everything in me feels like it's holding its breath. I used to sing in a choir once, and now I can't even fill my lungs." "Then let's begin there," said Nell. "Tea first, breath second." She guided Mara to the armchair by the hearth. The cushions were warm from the fire. The kettle began its low hum. Steam rose between them like something alive. When the tea had been poured, Nell took her tarot cards, edges worn from years of listening, and spread them gently on the table. One card slipped forward as though it had something to say. The star. Nell smiled. She's the one who reminds us that what's lost isn't gone. Look at her, Mara. Look at her kneeling by the water. Mara opened her eyes. And she looked at the card and saw the young woman pouring from 2 jugs, one for earth, one for the spirit. Her chest open, her heart unguarded. She trusts the rhythm between heaven and ground. Mara gazed at the card. "She looks so peaceful," she said. "She is," Nell answered. She doesn't try to hold her breath or her tears. She lets them move through her. That's the secret. Nothing stays stuck when it's allowed to flow. Outside, a breeze stirred the Rowan Tree. Light danced across the table like ripples on a pond. "Anxiety," Nell went on, "isn't always fear. Sometimes It's your soul tapping on the door saying, you've forgotten the rhythm. We breathe in what we need and we breathe out what we can't carry. So when we stop, everything piles up inside. Mara's eyes closed. I don't know how to start again. Nell's voice softened. Why don't you start by noticing, not by fixing? Let the breath find its own way back. They sat quietly as Nell guided her, in through the nose, out through the mouth, slow and low, like the sea turning over a pedal. My mistake, a pebble. At first, Mara's breaths became jagged, unsure. Then, one by one, they grew steady. Her shoulders lowered. Her fingers stopped gripping the edge of her scarf. And when she finally sighed, it wasn't a sound that seemed to loosen the whole room. There you are, said Nell. Mara opened her eyes. You make it sound so easy. It isn't easy, Nell said. It's natural. There's a difference. They drank their tea in companionable silence. They sat there until the kettle cooled and the cottage felt lighter. Before Mara left, Nell pressed the star card into her hand. Keep her, she said, until you remember that you already are her. And now, listener, let's take a quiet moment together. Just rest quietly or close your eyes if you want to, and imagine a path through soft moss and wild thyme. The air is cool and faintly sweet. Each step you take releases the scent of the earth. With every step, breathe with the world itself, the ground rising and falling beneath you like a living pulse, in and out, in and out. Ahead a small pool glimmers. You kneel beside it as the star does. The surface reflects the sky, 1,000 points of light breathing with you. As you inhale, the stars brighten, and as you exhale, the water settles. Let the next breath you take belong entirely to you. No effort, no forcing, just the natural rhythm of being alive. If your mind drifts, let it. If emotions stir, let them. The breath will find you again and again. Stay here a while. The night is kind. The rowan branches above you sway in time with your lungs, and the world moves gently on the same rhythm as you. When you're ready, just return to the room around you. Listen to a clock tick, another soft sound, or the warmth of your hands. Then take a nice, generous breath, because you haven't forgotten how to breathe and only how to notice that you were breathing, and now you remember. So thank you for joining me beneath the Rowan Tree tonight. Until the next time, keep breathing, keep trusting, and keep shining, just like the star. And for any of you that find yourself constantly just holding your breath in frustration, apprehension, a little bit of anger maybe, or just to stop yourself crying, just remember, as I am trying to remember, it is easier to keep breathing, and then those emotions don't seem quite as crushing. And until next time.